I am Sunil Mhankale. I am working as an assistant professor in the Department of English at Sociolinguistics College, Srirampur, England. Today, I am going to deal with a very important topic, that is social linguistics. Actually, I have done a research paper on this subject. A subject is that a social linguistic investigation of language variation in the selected novels of Gurukiraj Anand and Shobhade. So, friends, social linguistics is a very unique topic. People might be knowing about this topic, but before moving to this main topic, it is worthwhile to know that what is linguistics. So, linguistics. Linguistics is a scientific study of language. So, sociology is also a very important part of the linguistics. Basically, linguistics has five levels, as we all know that: phonology, morphology, syntax, semantics, and pragmatics. Phonology deals with the sounds, speech sounds. Morphology deals with the word formation. Syntax related to the grammatical structure of the sentence. Semantics, which is related to the literal meaning of the word or sentences, and pragmatics, that is the implied meaning of the sentence. These are the five levels of linguistics. So, social linguistics, this is a very important branch of linguistics. Social linguistics means this is a language which related to the society. Social linguistics is the study of language related to the society. The present research study is an attempt to probe into the study of language variation with respect to social linguistic aspects, that is class, gender, and culture. The present research study deals with the novels of Gurukiraj Anand, that is Untouchable 1935, then Kuli 1936. This two novel reflects class conflicts, gender conflicts, and cultural differences, and such aspects affect to the language. The working class has been shown in the selected novels. The depressed and suppressed class is the victim of injustice in the selected novel, so that the voices of the characters like Baka in Untouchable and Munu in Kuli seems to be revolutionary one, or unique by socially and linguistically. Second one, that is the Shobhani's novel, A Socialite Evening, that is 1989, and her second novel, Starry Nights, 1991. Her novels are mostly based on women equality and think beyond patriarchy. So the voices of her characters shows actual language. In her writing, there is a depiction of women, particularly the elite class, who have broken the stereotype restrictions and orthodoxical views. An independent voice of the characters has been shown in her writing. The selected writers Mutlakanand and Shobhade have their own philosophy with regard to social linguistical aspects. So, friends, the study of language variation. Now, language variation also a very important concept of social linguistics for understanding language in detail. Language variation is natural phenomena. Language variation is a core part of social linguistics, and today it is an important research paradigm. Language variation has been discussed as per the levels of linguistics: phonological, morphological, and semantical. The present research study discusses class, gender, and culture for investigating language variation. The term social linguistics basically is coined by William Lebo, who is regarded as the founder of the study of social linguistics. So, social linguistics is a huge field in linguistics which deals with the different varieties of language. so that language variation is the fertile field for present research. Sociolinguistics is based on fact that language is not a single homogeneous entity, but has different forms in different situations. There are changes in language because of changes in social conditions. Sociolinguistic studies have always focused on how language varies from one region to another, or even among persons or groups. Therefore, an attempt in this investigation has been to examine sociolinguistic variation in the selected novels. In sociolinguistics, language variation and change is one of the important part of language study. How varieties of language that are found in various geographical regions involve a change in the pronunciation as well as diction. Sometimes these changes may be present within the same geographical region due to social and cultural differences between different economic sections. For example, working class and aristocracy. These changes result in class and gender, cultural dialects. So it is needed to study language variation with reference to social linguistical aspects. Friends, the topic of the present research has been selected by the researcher because the sociolinguistic aspects are shown in the selected novels and the features of language variation are also found while studying language in general. The comparative and comprehensive research study of the selected writers and their writing have not been carried out so far in sociolinguistical angle. So the selected writings are needed to be investigated. The very important topic, the present study has selected the two writers who belong to particular background and their writing are an apt example of language variation. There is variation in language takes place because the speaker belongs to different geographical region. Taking the example of English, we find that it is not a single language, however, it exists in the form of several varieties. One kind of variety is RP, that is received pronunciation. This variety of English is used in the southwest of England and particularly in the University of Oxford and Cambridge and BBC. It is recognized as an educated and formal kind of English, but there are varieties of English such as English that is spoken in the north of England, in Yorkshire and Lancashire, in Scotland, Scottish English, Welsh English, etc. There is varieties like Cockney English. It is spoken by working class people, which is considered as a less educated variety of English. Friends, the same example also happened in the Maharashtrian Marathi. If you see in Puneri Marathi, which is usually considered as a standard Marathi version of language. Suppose there is one example. काय करत आहात? In Pune, generally people call it काय करत आहात. If you say in Ahmednagar or Nagar, people generally call it काय करतोय रे. If you say in Konkan or Mumbai parts, काय करत आहे. In Airani zone, people call it काय करीस. If you go in Rajwada, the same sentence there is काय करता. Again, काय करायलेत. The same word, same sentence, pronouncing as a different way. This is a very good example of language variation. Friends, as you all know that India is a country of several states. Each state carries its own mother tongue. It is stated that there are variations in Indian English language. English language in India has an eventful history. Britishers came in India in the 16th century and established colonies in India for the sake of employment. They recruited Indians in East India Company. Henceforth, English began to spread in India. Friends, a speech and writing in English in Indian English shows the influence of social class and culture of India. Indian English is one of the oldest regional varieties of English. Indian English language now has been accepted as a distinct variety. India is a country of large population and there are cultural diversities in India. For example, Maharashtrian English, Telugu English, Punjabi English, Tamil English, so on. Hence, there are some varieties or variation in Indian English. Thus, it is an important to probe into the study of language variation. In a nutshell, the research finding will be enable us to know the variation in Indian English language in terms of class, gender, and culture. Moreover, language varieties as per the pronunciation, diction, and tone, intonation pattern of that regional language. This would have implication for the need to develop uniqueness, in short, Indianness in Indian English language. If we talk about the scope and limitation, the writings of the selected writers are not only found bound with the fictions, they are socialists, journalists, columnists, and short story writers, but only their original work have been selected for the present research study. This is small scale study of selected writers as well as there are less opportunities to visit these particular regions which are depicted in the research study. It is much focusing on theoretical study than practical, for example, observation and interviews. There is a lot of scope for researchers and academicians to study the field of language variation. Each and every language has its own traits and variations too. So researcher can study about their mother tongue to show the uniqueness of it and make it standard variety. India is a multicultural country. It's easy to borrow diction from all different cultures and develop Indian English as an only variety of proper way at the global platform. The sociolinguistic interpretation of these selected novels will be definitely helpful for the readers to clear the dimensions such as class, gender, culture, proper analytical study of language in variations. Friends, the main intention behind taking this subject is that the writers which I selected for this study is that Rukraj Anand and Shobhale. They have used some words that is from Indian culture. The people generally speak in their mother tongue, and as it is, they have started translated their dictions, their sentences in English. For example, I would like to give one example of untouchable. That is, Baka's aunt call him the son of pig, or she calls him like Bakya. We generally find like people call to their children or the child in this way. Again, he has used many Indian words like Sahi, Huzur from the Indianness, from the Indian culture. Again, we talk about the Shobhade. She has also taking some words from the Indianness, from Indian cultures. She has used many slangs. She has used words like chikna face, then again huzur. These words are taken from the Indian culture. So this word should know all over the world what exactly the meaning of such words. So that is why such type of variations should be elaborated, should be explained in somewhere else in the research study. So thank you so much for listening me. And very important that is there are very much opportunities for doing research in the field of sociolinguistics and language variations. Friends, you can take some another novels or another writings of the writers for taking or finding the examples of such variations in language. It will be very beneficial for the abroad people or the all over the world. So, in the conclusion, it is an attempt made in the proposed research to set the tone of the present research in the field of social linguistics and developmental stages. So thank you so much for listening. Thank you.